So you have a change of heart, wanna make a brand new start. You've been living on the edge with forever as a pledge. No more giving it up, turning me loose, setting us free. Baby, keeping it real, cause we got what it takes for sure. There's no turning back anymore. Can you see it's all a game? Life goes on all the same. If at first you don't succeed, all you've got is all you need. If you believe, then stake your claim.
Hey, Rise and Thrivers. Welcome to the final Monday of June of 2025. It is June 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and welcome to Rise and Thrive Together. Just in case you're new or you need a little reminder who we are Rise and Thrive Together, a community that is out to educate and empower and equip you to have the results that you want through real talk and taking real action. It has been an incredible month of June. I am so thrilled and so excited to be here. And I know that my favorite co-host, my dear friend, Dr. Raquel Stuart, is as well. So let's just jump right in. What's up, sis? Welcome to Rise and Thrive Together, June 30th. Can you believe it? Last Monday of June.
I know. I can't believe it. Hello, Rise and Thrivers. Welcome to any new folks out there. This has been an incredible month. We've had two incredible and amazing men on the show. I'm so happy to say that. Yay. And they really dropped some keys, golden keys. I'm trying to find something other than nuggets. I'm working on it. You'll hear me create phrases. And it was so incredible. And we are so grateful to you all for tuning in and participating. And once again, we would like to congratulate Genevieve because she won a signed copy of Brian's book. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So congratulations to you, Genevieve. But you've got some stuff to share, so I want to jump right on in here with how we lead out loud.
Yes, well, we're gonna sit there and say that we are at episode 113, so that makes it a big lead out loud for 113 episodes consistently with you and me. And here's the thing, it's you and me, or you or me. We've had special also co-hosts with us as well. And yeah, this is the moment. So before we really get into that, I want to say, I want you, sis, to kind of really, this is what I love about leading with you. One, we lead together and we really create a balance with one another. So some of those delicious keys that were dropped was know yourself, right? And know who you connect with. So what are some of the things that you remember that, Karan and Bryce said that is a key for you as, you know what we're going to talk about, what are some of the things that I want to share, but what are some of those keys that really left you, educated, empowered, and equipped?
So, and I'm totally going to paraphrase. Karan mentioned that your goals, your vision, it never failed. So that gave me a lot of hope that even though I may not take the direct road, I may have to make some twists and turns. I definitely have to go through the peaks and the valleys. So that means the lows and the highs, that my vision will never fail. It's just I'm taking a different route. And that route also empowers me. That route teaches me lessons. That route helps me to get more in touch with me and who I am and know my purpose. So I'm absolutely grateful to him for sharing that and letting me know that it is absolutely okay. My vision will never fail. And from Brian, he was on last week, when he dropped that quote, to sin by silence when we should object to injustice makes cowards of men. Now, when we use the word men, that does not mean just males. It means men, like mankind. And he spoke on microaggressions and what that quote means to me. And it's not his. I actually looked it up. And the quote is often attributed to Ella Wheeler Wilcox. But what that says to me is kind of like, what's that sign in New York in the subway? See something, say something. I'm going to sum that up. That's what that says. When you see injustice taking place, you see someone being mistreated, you see it, say something, intervene, let it go by the wayside. Now, where I was basically referencing microaggressions, but this can apply to just about anything. You see something, say something. Don't wait for the other person. Don't do that bystander effect. Well, somebody else will get involved. No, you get involved. So
I
that
love
was it
it.
for you.
Yeah, I definitely, and this goes perfectly. I'm going to go with Brian first. I did not remember that quote. For me, we'll go backwards with Brian. It was so learning. You brought up Genevieve, the winner of the book. So we're going to say that again, because here's the deal, guys. If you're new or you're joining in again, there's no difference. Keep watching or watching the replay. There are so many fun opportunities for you guys to get what you want or don't even realize that you may need. Genevieve and I had a real big conversation after, the show the next day, and we learned so much from Brian around microaggressions. Those questions that he put up that, really challenged me and you, sis, right? He was having so much fun with you, right? Putting you on the spot, like, wow, why? But it's so much fun. Really was interesting to see, like, what a microaggression was. The one that stood out for me the most was using like the name calling, and it was the name calling of when he was using the wiener, right? Like the conversation of wiener, which both Genevieve and I were like, that's a microaggression. But he's like, it's an overall, like, kind of what kids might make fun of. And when he really clarified, when you're using a term that hurts and like really in general will impact, the culture, the, gender, the overall, then that's, so I'm still playing around with that, by the way. And I know I'm, again, not, I'm paraphrasing. Guys, watch the episode. It's out there for you to watch. So if you have any questions, seriously, watch it. It's a really great episode. So it was really interesting how I was learning for myself the difference, and being a mom and being, on a lot of play dates this weekend, or just watching people speak. I was literally playing this game. Like, is that a microaggression, or is somebody just, teasing? And what I loved is it goes into what you said about his overall statement. Leading out loud for me is when I wasn't sure, I just opened up my mouth and asked what that person meant. And many times I found out, like, especially with kids, because I'm really focusing on the younger, to realize that what they say out of their mouth makes an impact. And that what one person may see as I was just joking and kidding, we were teasing, might not be that way for another child. So it may not be a microaggression based on what I was learning from Brian, and still have a lot more to learn, but there still is, we care about if you care about what somebody, about their feelings and emotions. So I was playing around with that a lot this weekend. So I really appreciate Brian. Want to have him back because he had a lot more to share, and there was a lot for me to learn. And with Karan, I'm going to take yours as well, because it goes right into like what I want to share today, which is like your dreams. Nobody can take them away from you. They're yours. So how can they fail? They never fail. They may be put on a shelf, and the only person who puts them on a shelf is you, because they're yours. Now, someone may take your dream. If you open your mouth and you lead out loud and you don't take any action, around it. And we'll say, like, for example, trademark something, because anybody can come and kind of go and do, and then you've got to, really, if it matters to you, you're going to trademark that so that you own that. We own, right? Rise and thrive together, right? As a business, if we don't own that and take responsibility, but in general, it's yours, like it's your dream. And really what I want to share with everybody today is who we are. We are a community. And so dreams become visions. Visions become projects. Projects become, something that, if it really matters to me, becomes, a project that matters, and I take a stand for that. And the only way that I can lead out loud is literally by opening up my mouth and having a community hold me accountable. So you guys, I've shared many long time ago. 4 years ago this July, I donated my kidney. That was something that was not in my thought, but when it came to me, and seeing the person who I care about, my godson's wife, who I've known her whole life, those quiet whispers, the ones that Raquel and I talk about, that intuition, and we use God. God tapped my shoulder. It is bigger than what Regina wants to do. It was just a given. It was like a complete yes. And so I donated my kidney, and that was fabulous. But what was missing for me was, how do I tell my 4-year-old daughter at the time? And I did a lot of research. And there are books, don't get me wrong. So anybody's out there, you can probably send me a ton of emails to say, but what about this book, this book, this book, this book? At that time, when I was going through, there wasn't the book for me that supported the way Josh and I want our daughter to learn about things. And so we had a few, but I was going away. Josh was going to be away from her. And during my kidney recovery, donation recovery, I did this cool meditation and woke up with God tapping on my shoulder and literally wrote a book called My Mommy Donated Her Kidney. It was like Lexi was talking to me because she wanted to know about this. It has been on the shelf for 4 years. For 4 years. And it is because of having the relationships, knowing who I am, knowing what matters to me opening up my mouth to people that will hold me accountable and know my greatness and not have me be small. Raquel, it's like, yeah, I have a husband, but he has a business and he has big things as well. She really has been the one that's like, we've got this show, we're going to lead the way. And so I'm proud to say that as of a couple of weeks ago, we officially, because it is not a one person, the story that was written by me and the artist have it officially created, and our wonderful co-host, like extraordinaire, Hal Eisenberg, who has all of his books, has supported this vision as well, and has his publisher finishing up the little touches. So I'm excited to share with you guys the drawing. I'm excited to share with you. Here it is, because Raquel hasn't seen it. Here we go. Boom. The cover. I'm going to get rid of some of the stuff that's on here. So let's hide this. Let's hide the bottom. That's scrolling at the bottom. And there you go. There is My Mommy Donated Her Kidney, written by Regina Rossi-Lamothe and illustrated by Elio Lynn. Every single piece has been a journey for myself and Elio, the illustrator. Ready? A valedictorian as of last Monday. A valedictorian. I got a high school student whose dream of writing and drawing, her passion, her love, and also going, now accepted to college to work on chemistry, and is literally did that. And we'll do the back of it, which basically says, My Mommy Donated Her Kidney. Lexi tells the exciting story of her mom giving a kidney to her friend Frankie. As they go through this big adventure together, Lexi learns about love, friendship, and helping others. Join Lexi on this journey and see how brave hearts can change lives. So super, like, that is like big, guys. This has been a way in the closet, having week after week conversations of Raquel. We do this show because we have to start with ourselves. We have to start with ourselves. What are those dreams? What are those visions? What are those things that have been on the back burner? 13 years, right? Songs that have been just sitting on paper and in, and even somebody passed away. The person who inspired me and the person who mentored me passed away. So I can use every excuse in the world. She got those songs out there, right? On our show. And now this book is going to be launched very, very, very soon. So I'm very thrilled and excited. So get ready for pre-order, order. But here's the exciting part Raquel doesn't even know. Being in community, I'm in a community with Karan, one of our guests, and one of our other leaders was on there. And this woman, who also is legally blind, has a launch of a book coming out. Helen Keller's birthday just passed by on Friday. And she got to be part of this journey of this book that's coming out with a woman who lived with Helen Keller for 1 year. And what she inspired me was, I realized, yeah, I've got this book for children, right? Great to have families and caregivers support their children if you're donating a kidney. But I didn't think of the bigger picture. I did not think of what happens if someone can't read, like can't read because they're blind. What happens, if they can read but they can't hear, right? Like vice versa, like all of these things. So she had, and then languages. So all of that. So book is coming out, and now book is going to be, I've got support inside a community to have this book be written in Braille. And I didn't even know, Raquel, I don't know if you know, but like when people listen, like we are, there's like audio, and they have like little machines that they can hear this and they can feel the Braille. I didn't know that. So it can be done as an audio book with Braille typing coming out. And then I have another friend of mine in community that is a former, what are they, when they do the audio book in another language. So she's willing to take the book and do it in Spanish and Portuguese. So a simple, like simple, but a big, important part of all of that, all of, oh yeah, this thing happened, like it's no big deal. No, it is. It's a big deal. And that's leading out loud too, really owning, and why I'm looking forward to Raquel to share her part, but really to own what we're doing, what matters to us. And so it's not an ego tap on my shoulder, but it's an honoring of myself and honoring what God gave me, right? My purpose and my calling, one project at a time. Now it's 2 projects at a time. And from one conversation I said to her, we'll talk about it this week. Now it's turned into Braille, audio Braille, this language, that
different languages.
different languages, right? And really, I think the most exciting piece, guys, is when you're looking at writing your book, how can you make an impact, not just for yourself and for, like, hopefully many, 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 many people. And I'm going to sneeze, so hold on. But like, thank you. Was like, I could have had a lot of illustrators, but my youth is part of who I am. I've been a social worker and working with youth for years. To have this 12th grader go through a whole year of high school, grades, working, and then became valedictorian. And I cannot wait for you to meet Elio one day. Elio's gonna come on and share. But it's incredible. Those drawings, and that's one, I'm not gonna give you the book, but that drawing, her vision with my daughter's vision. My 8.5-year-old daughter was like, no, I need to look this way. No, I'm 4. You made me look 8. No, the eyes go this way. This is what's appealing to me and my friends. So adults, this is youth leadership. Leading out loud is not me. It is empowering, equipping, and providing some education, right? Because I do have a little bit knowledge and some stuff and allowing them to shine. And that's what I'm most proud of. My daughter and Elio and all my friends. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, including my girlfriend Laura, who passed away. She's the one who hooked me up with the National Kidney Foundation in New York, and they are waiting for this book. So that's what I wanted to share tonight. Yay! Yay!
So I'm super excited. I'm so excited for you. I saw the first draft of the cover.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so she was right. I didn't see this one, but I saw the first draft of the cover. Absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of you. And Lexi.
Yes.
And Josh for taking this journey with you.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's super exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Yes. Thank
That's
you. Thank
what
you.
leading out loud is all about. And when you hear the out loud, it doesn't mean you're yelling and shouting in the street. You can lead out loud by your actions.
Yes.
And what we hope is that that's what you're getting from this entire month of leading out loud. You know, it's your action. It's how you treat other people. It's what you guide other people to do. And most times without even knowing it. Showing up on the days that you don't want to,
Mhm.
and just being genuinely and authentically you. A leader is not someone who has all the answers, right? Leaders are people who know the why. The people that work with them, they may know how to do something, but leaders know why they're doing it. That's important to understand when you are leading out loud, right? Now, you keep saying that I have something to share. What do I have to share?
Well, you and I talk always after the show, and I think, I'm not thinking, and I don't want to put, words in your mouth. But what I want to go back to is that dream part, right? Like the dream that never is taken away and that never fails. And like taking a look at, that leading out loud, you yourself you're one of the inspirations when this became a book, right? I wrote it and my mind went, this would be a children's book, but it never went into a book because you yourself, when I was speaking to you, oh my God, all that time ago. And when, over 2.5 years ago, you yourself started writing and you have a couple of projects and some, don't, went on the shelf and have, been like moved over in a different aspect. But, I just feel like there's a lot in common. We've got other things that we've done together, right? We have the Rise and Thrive Together journal. But you have some stuff as well that when I said this to you last week, can we do this as a show? You were like, hey, Reg, I think I'm going to start working on this. I know it's time to put this back into action again. And you may not want to talk about the full project, but like the overall fact that you have projects that are out there and ready for yourself to be. So you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't. But
You have your projects.
I need you to lead me.
You have your books. Right?
I need you to lead me out loud.
Yeah, you have your books that have been sitting, and have had different ready to go and started and then stopped and then started and then stopped. And last week you were like, hey, it's time for me to start working on this book again. And, that comes.
Yeah. So she just said it.
Yeah, I did. Yep. And that comes, like I said, at a conversation with people. I think the leading out loud for me, to drop some keys, is stop being quiet, right? Don't keep them to yourself. And like, what's the big deal if you share it with somebody? Like, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? I'll tell you, if you tell Raquel, it's going to happen. So we'll just warn people about that. If you want things to happen, call Raquel. Karan is that as well in my life. If you want something to happen, we call them the, really the accountability like leaders. And I'm grateful for that Because let's be, this is a real show. This is a talk, real talk. How many of us really need that nudge? And I've got it in my husband, I've got it in Raquel. When you have consistent accountability people that you talk to all the time, they're going to say, hey, what about? But what about? But what about this? What about your book, Raquel? What about your dating life, Raquel? What about how are you doing with regards to, her weight loss journey, like around her health? Like, we remind each other because we talk about it. One day I'd love to have my husband on here because he's someone who will get in my face and be like, stop talking about it and just go take action about it. And I'll come up with an excuse and he's like, no.
That's something that's,
Go ahead.
yeah, that's major for me, is we can sit and talk about anything ad nauseum, something we want to do. When are we going to change wanting to do to I did?
Yes.
I'm doing. Get an action. There's a lot of things I want to do. Sit back and think, do I really want to do it? And why do I want to do it? Or why don't I want to do it? One of the things that Reg is talking about is a book that I've been working on probably since last year. And guess what? I'm not in a hurry. I start, like she said, I stop, I start, I stop. And I'm like, when the time is right, trust and believe that book is going to be finished. I'm going to sit down, pound that out, because that's just who I am. Right. But other things came in front of that were important, pushed, never forgotten, because why your visions never fail, but it just got pushed, and I'm okay with it being pushed back. But now it's I don't often share part of my life. Reg knows about it, where I am a leader and was blessed enough opportunity to lead. This past week, I've done something I wanted to do for a year. Do you understand how I operate? It never stops. It may just be delayed for a little bit. And that is to do, take an I Am Remarkable workshop. I heard about it last year. I attended an event at Johnson & Johnson, and I was just blown away, because that is who I am. I want to empower people to live the life they love, right? But I can't want it more than them. So I took a I Am Remarkable workshop last week. I think in 2 weeks, I'm doing the training to be a facilitator. So now I get to train trainers. I also get to go out in organizations and talk about this. And what makes people remarkable? Why is it that we don't share our success? Is it because we think we're bragging? It's never bragging. Fact. That is not bragging. Okay, fact is, Reg did an amazing thing that most people would shy away from 4 years ago. She partied literally with one of her organs. Just two. She partied with one. That led her to write a book. She's right. The worst thing you can do is tell me you want to do something, and then you're going to act like that was just, hey, how's the weather kind of conversation. No, it's not a weather conversation for me. It is, what's it going to take? What do you need to do? And let's go do it.
Yep.
Period. Otherwise, how am I empowering people if I just let it go? If it's something you really want, I hear it in your voice. And so in a couple of weeks, I will be taking the training. And what I learned on that workshop is, and I'm still shying away from saying the one thing that I do. I started out 2 years ago volunteering with the NAACP. And that's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I volunteered with one of the committees. So I was nominated, and I was the second VP, vice president of the local branch of the NAACP down here where I live. And then I moved up to first VP. And as of, I believe, a month ago, I'm now the president of the NAACP Willingboro and vicinity branch. And I don't say that to brag. I say it because that's God. And if God thinks I'm ready, I may not think I'm ready, but if he opens the door, I am going to step through, in, all around it. I'm going to find a crack, a window, or whatever. Because when it's your time, it's your time. And when God opens that door, you better walk through it. Reg, God opened that door for you when he had you donate your kidney. When you donated your kidney, that door was open, and he kept it open. Even if it was just a crack, he kept it open for this book, for a time such as this. So you want to know how we lead out loud? We first have to lead ourselves, right? And then bring other people along. I would not be in the position that I'm in now, and however that is, if I didn't learn about me and continue to do growth and development work. I absolutely would not. Because the person that I was back then, she was nice back then, but she couldn't survive here and now at this level, at this point of my life, and in this season. So I welcome the change. I welcome Reg. Reg is the one that started this whole growth and development ball rolling many years ago. And I've just continued because I was like, wow, this is amazing. I can do stuff. I actually can. And now I get to share that with our audience. So I implore you, please, if there's something you want to do, go do it. Find a community. Like Reg is big in community. Find a community that supports you. Let me finish that, because we can find the other community, but if you're not mentally strong, you won't use that as a fuel to propel you. You'll let them drag you down. We're not about that life. We get one go round here, ladies and gentlemen. What are you going to do with the time that you are given? Because once you leave this earth, you cannot then say, it's great, I wanted to do. Had your time. What are you doing with your time? Leaders learn time management. I was never really good at it, but now I'm learning it because I'm in a position where it requires it. But I had to learn it for Raquel, not for a position. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
It does. And
but this is us leading out loud, right, Reg?
No, absolutely. And I'm going to circle back a couple of things that really stood out for me when you were speaking and leading out loud. Ellen, because you talked about, like, so we're going to kind of put it back into the circle of when you stand for someone, somebody sees you bigger than you see yourself. Like, that's the biggest thing, right? Like, somebody sees and listens to you bigger. See, I'm getting chills. Bigger than you see yourself. Let's go into like the mindset stuff, right? So our mind is, we hear something, we hear someone speak about it over and over and over and over and over again. That means it matters to them, right? Raquel's book, Raquel wanting to be disrupting. She is the disruptor of disempowering conversations. How does that show up for her, right? In many paths. And we've been speaking for a long time. Let's do this show. Let's empower and educate people. Let's bring people on. The NAACP came, boom, aligned, right? So that she can, I will never forget the day. She's like, hey, Reg, I'm going over to this, NAACP, I have an opportunity to go in as a guest. I want to listen. She cares about her community. She cares about her culture. She cares about, all of that, right? Like, she understands all of that. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to listen. And I will never forget the next time we spoke, because she was like, oh, she's like, everybody's just talking, no action. But like, they're really, their mission is great. They have great ideas, but they just live like what most cultures do. Most cultures, I don't care if it's business, family, we talk, and nothing gets done. That's not who her and I are. It's not how so next thing you know, she's there, she opened up her mouth. The next thing you know, they invited her back. Then like in a year, guys, in a year. But the mindset part of it is a big part of it. And so all of that happened for you. And I think the big piece is like, I appreciate, and I'm going to own that. Somebody made an impact in my life about growth and development. Raquel's got her doctorate. She's a licensed mental health counselor, licensed, all that. We can put all the things. I'm a licensed, social worker, blah, blah, blah. There's always room. The door is always, when you listen quietly, to grow. That's what we're here for. We are here to grow. And with growth then becomes actions. With actions becomes, results and making an impact. That's why we're here. So I invited her to grow because there was I was listening to her week after week of things she never said, just like she did it before. It's like those old habits of, you need to leave me a little bit more because I don't want to say what I don't want to say, or I'm not sure what you're saying. But now she got to share about this other part of her life. And Ellen is giving us the perfect example of the things that stop us. Fear of failure can impede on one's following through. But when you open up your mouth and you discuss it, then you no longer can hide. No longer can hide. Or maybe we're insecure of one of our
You're
beliefs.
committed to what you confess.
Yep. And then she's like, or we're insecure of one of the beliefs that we have, or a belief system that's out there. So we need self-confidence. That's a very cool conversation. And I did a workshop last night with a group of ladies, and a lot of people were like, I've got all of these, all of these dreams and stuff, but I need more self-confidence, right? There's something that, and it's the conversation, the beliefs. We call, Raquel and I, limiting beliefs. So diffusing the fear and moving forward. Thank you, Ellen. She puts it in perfectly in one round ball. How do we diffuse the fear? Raquel and I love the word disrupt, like disrupt it, diffuse it. And fear is going to be there, and you still can move forward. And we've brought on many guests here, and many guests coming up, and including Raquel and I. You can hear it in her share, like, I'm going to talk about this. I'm leading up to this. And then she opened up and shared about the NAACP, because I feel like, it is an incredible journey from somebody walking in and checking out what's happening in her community and in an organization that means something to many people. And now she is the president of a large chunk of the NAACP for where she lives. And on top of it, leads a whole bunch of other parts of the NAACP, of other projects they're doing. So I really appreciate that, Ellen, because really it is that. It really is that once you open up your mouth, you can't hide any longer. And so we're not asking people to not open up their mouth. Like, we're not asking you not to. We're asking you to take a moment and get connected. Get connected. If there's a fear, you don't have to come live like us, but go talk to someone. It is why there's so many people, programs, projects out there, so that someone can help you walk through that fear together, side by side. It's why we're called Rise and Thrive Together. I just want to say Ellen is super proud of you. Congratulations, Raquel. So we're giving a shout out to Raquel as well. Yeah.
Thank
and
you, Ellen. I appreciate it.
Our stuff is really the results. It's the talk, the real talk, went into real actions. Here are the results. And I love what you said, sis, because I said what I said to come on and share, and I wanted you to share, not as own it. What I posted was unapologetically, right? Unapologetically to say, hey, these are results that matter, because it's not just about us. It's the impact we want to make, to leave our legacy, to leave our mark, because we really are out to have others be able to have their dreams become visions, and visions become realities. Like she said, one life, one way. There's no other way. I'd rather live my life. So I really appreciate everybody listening. I do have a question before Raquel takes over, because we're just having a great time tonight. How many of you are right now ready to lead out loud? How many of you are willing to put in the chat right now, or hashtag replay, What is a dream that you want to now speak out loud? What is a vision? What is something that you want to do? Whatever makes it easier that you want to do. And it doesn't matter that you're scared. Because here's the thing, Ellen, fear is the best little thermometer or barometer to say that's the one that makes you scared, the one that had 13 years of songs sitting in the background, the one that had 4 years of this that I knew in my heart 4 years ago that to come out, but nah, I'm not, not like those other authors, or, oh, that's so hard. I don't know how to draw. All of that. We can get into all of that. So who's willing? Who wants to play? Because here's the thing Raquel doesn't even know. Right now, before Raquel does her famous goodbye and pulls it all together for us, if anybody puts it in the chat, you will get a free Rise and Thrive Together journal. That's our gift. Come lead out loud right now. Before Raquel ends with her ending, has to be right now live. We see people on there. Put it in the chat and then send me your email and we will send you a free Rise and Thrive Together journal that'll support you on all of these conversations that we're talking about and anything else you need. See, sis, look what I did.
Awesome. So here's something I just want to throw in about fear. Some of you may have heard it's the acronym false evidence appearing real. What I've learned is, yes, that's true, but I've also learned that I can treat fear like a friend or a foe. And whichever way I choose to see it, that's the role it will play in my life. Anything that I have, and I was full of fear. But notice what I said. I've done them. So I have a conversation with fear. Fear, you can either come with me and we do this together, or you can stay behind, but I'm still going to do it regardless. Even with I get up and I show up, whatever it is, even with that fear. So, it just becomes how many of you are willing to treat fear like a friend or a foe. You get to choose. But know that whichever choice you make, there are consequences. And consequences are not good or bad. They're just consequences. So you get to choose. And what are you going to choose today? No one, and we'll keep watch in our Facebook group for want to do. What is it that you've always wanted to do? Something that just came up and you want to get it done and get in action. Let's get started. I mean, there's no better time than now, right? I heard once it wasted. So don't waste this opportunity that you're being given. All right. And with all of that being said, and this leading out loud and taking control and taking charge and learning how to lead, but most importantly, how to lead yourself comes first. And remember, you cannot do it alone, but you can do it because together we rise and thrive. Till next time.